Hi everybody, and welcome along to Here to Sally's Sweet Life. I'm your host Sally, and today I'm hoping to be your teacher mentor. This particular video is aimed at teachers and instructors for body balance, or perhaps you're doing body flow. So I'm going to be talking about that sort of a class, and specifically the meditation track at the very end, because I've had lots of comments on people asking me to go into this a little bit more depth, and how do we make it fresh? How do we bring in new things? Baby, I've got it covered. Got it covered for you. So much have I got it covered that this is part one of a series of, actually I don't know because I haven't filmed them all yet, but I think I'm going to be doing about 10 videos on this one specific subject just for you. I know. The reason being is that for today's video, I want to help you to set it all up and talk about my 3 golden rules into the success of teaching meditation tracks in this class. And also later on, I'm going to be talking about and giving you like 7 or 8 different themes. So you can call on any of those themes anytime you want to as the content for the meditation. So that's really great, and they're all really different. So that's nice too. And then we're going to talk about how to come out of a video on how to come out of the class beautifully, and give you a few different options there and a few ideas. All sound good? So because there's progressive videos, if you haven't already subscribed, it's really good to subscribe. Number one, because it supports me as a YouTuber. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. But what happens is when I do upload my next video, you'll be notified. And if you're like me and you don't like notifications, that's totally fine too. You can still subscribe, and then you can switch off notifications, so it's good for everybody, right? So let's get into this content, because yeah, I know a lot of you have been wanting this. Now, in the first 9 tracks of body balance or body flow, it's all physical movement, okay, and an internal journey of the mind. So actually, did you know that yoga means to bind? It's binding lots of things, but in this particular case, we're binding your mind and your thoughts inward into your body. So can you feel your abdominals squeezing? Can you feel your fingers extending? You know, that type of thing. When we hit the meditation, everything changes. It's a real gear shift in the class. And the class has the opportunity, well, I'm going to teach you how to do this actually as a teacher, to guide all of your participants into a deeper experience. So it's more internal, and they go deeper within themselves. And who doesn't want that? It's your truth within there. But maybe you've noticed that some people leave. So they go the other way. They surface even more and they get on with the rest of their day. Now I know, I remember when I first started teaching, I had mixed feelings about people leaving in the meditation. But here's what I've arrived at. And I've been in this mindset for many, many years now. And it's totally okay. It's okay that people leave. You know, they may not be ready. They may not be ready for the meditation and relaxation experience, because it can be quite confronting for some people. Some people are a little frightened by it because they think they're going to fall asleep. It's quite a vulnerable part of the class, right? And who knows what people's lives are like, and they need to get on and do other things. So there's this, what I want to bring to your attention is there's this separation and this split. For the people that are going, for us as instructors, it's so important that we give them the freedom to go. Don't just let them go and ignore them. Really finish the experience for them by saying really quickly, and hey, if you're going today and you're leaving us now, that's okay. I hope you enjoyed the class. We hope to see you back next week. But can you just grab all your things really quickly and put your shoes on outside the door? And that's great, because you've said thanks for coming, see you next week, and get out. Because the rest of the people that want to stay really love this part of the class. I know I personally feel like it's a very precious part of the class. Do you? Yes. So we want to protect this part by trying to create this environment that encourages the depth that we want to go in, and that's no movement and no noise. So we tell our people to go, that's cool, and then we can get straight into it. The first thing you want to do, even before I start talking about how to really enhance the experience for your participants, is you as an instructor, whatever your playlist is, don't just have one meditation track at the end, okay? Throw in 2 or 3, because then you can really relax into, oh, I don't have to worry about a bonus track kicking in at the end and it being a really loud gear change in the audio environment. You can just roll into another meditation track and another beautiful similar themed piece of music, and all you then have to do is keep an eye on the time so that your class doesn't get out late. Does that make sense? Right, so that's just about being fully prepared. The other thing I want you to think about is your microphone, because you know how sometimes the mic, if you're using a microphone, and I certainly hope you are, sometimes it crackles or it isn't in the best quality for whatever reason. If that's the case, take it off, or maybe set up the class in the meditation and switch it off. Be mindful you're not moving, so you're not going to disturb, stuff like that. So get yourself a little bit savvy around your microphone so that you're setting up that great environment. Now, part of the success of your participants' experience is stillness. And that's the gear change in this class. We've just been moving lots and lots in a physical way, and then all of a sudden we come into this stillness part of the class. So because they're still, you want to make sure they're completely comfortable. I always offer my class an option of 3 different positions. The first one, of course, is completely out flat. If they want to do that, that's fine. The second is I always offer, if people want to give themselves lower back support, feet are wide and knees are together. I'm not telling you anything new here. This is all part of our choreography and part of what we already know in the class. And of course, pregnancies, actually I just say, do you want to pregnancies just lay on your side, because pregnant mothers or mothers-to-be, pregnant ladies are going to read lots of books about pregnancy and what they can and can't do. And quite often it contradicts what to do. So if I just say, go onto your side or wherever you feel comfortable, then I've attended to them within their whole scope and their whole education. So that's great, and I'm looking after them, and you should too. Comfort in these positions is important because they want to be staying still. We've already mentioned that. But also, if the room or if you're in winter and it's cold and you know that the stillness is going to create, they're going to cool down really fast, maybe offer your class just a moment as the others are leaving. This is a great opportunity for you if you want to pop on something warmer, pop on some socks, because we're going to be still for quite a while and I don't want you to get cold. If they're cold or they're uncomfortable, coming back to that, going deeper into the experience, the body will surface them out of it. So they won't be able to get deep into that great experience of the meditation or the relaxation. They'll always be at this surface uncomfortable level and they just won't get it. They won't have that awesome feeling. So get them comfortable the best that you possibly can. Now, you as a teacher, and let's get straight into one of my golden rules, okay? One of my golden rules is never lay down and do the relaxation with your class. Yeah. This is the only time in the actual class where we are not doing the same as our participants, because we are actually no longer in this track a visual role model. Rather, we're just coaching because their eyes are closed. So I'm going to invite you, and I want to really strongly suggest that you don't lay down. And I'll tell you from experience, because way back, like nearly 20 years ago when I was teaching, excuse me, in the very beginning, I lay down with the rest of my class, just closed my eyes, got them into it, didn't say anything, and I fell asleep on stage with the microphone still on. Like, I completely checked out for, actually, I don't even know how long it was, a few minutes. Here's the worst, if that wasn't bad enough, here's the worst bit. I woke up on stage with a snort. Like, I went like that. And on the microphone and everything, everyone heard it. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm vowing never to lay down again, just in case that happens. So that's the reason why I started sitting when I was teaching my meditations. And actually then the reason started to change, and I want to share this with you as well, is because when you're sitting and everyone else is laying down, it's almost like you are shepherding a flock. You're protecting all of these people because, let's face it, they've got their eyes closed, they're laying on their back, they're completely vulnerable. And you're protecting and looking after them. And that, I think that's really your job at this point, is to have that intention as well as guiding them through this beautiful ending experience to this class. In addition, we also get to see, when you're sitting, you get to do lots of things. You get to keep an eye on the time, okay, because that's crucial. We want to get them out on time so we're not interfering with the rest of their lives. And yours, you might have a hot date waiting after the class. The second thing is if you're in a gym or a fitness center that requires you to count the numbers, it's a great time to count while they're all really still, and you can do whatever and they can't even see you. Just remember to add on the people that have already walked out of the door, and I'm sure you're already doing that. The other thing that it's really great to do is to check in, and you're watching to see how they're reacting to what you're saying in the meditation. So for example, if someone has their eyes open, could be the first time they've ever done anything like that and they don't realize to close their eyes, but it'll cue you because you'll see it, and you'll be able to invite them, hey, you might want to close your eyes now if you haven't already. So you're really staying connected in that nurturing way to your class. Golden rule number 1. Do you want to know what golden rule number 2 is? Is that we never ever take our class on a visual journey, okay? So what that means is, once they're down and their eyes closed, we never say, oh, take a deep breath and let's go to the beach. Or imagine yourself in a park or a forest or wherever. No, never ever do that, because you don't know what they've experienced up until this point in those particular areas, and it's not always going to be positive. What we want to bring to them is almost like a neutral experience. But don't worry, I'm going to give you loads and loads of different ideas to what to do in the bulk content of meditation in these future videos. And they're really, really simple, and I think you're going to really love them. The third golden rule is, don't talk too much. Yes, you've got to set it all up, I get that. But once you start to go into the content, you don't want to be talking a whole lot, because again, it brings them into the surface, and you want them to have that deeper experience. So once they're on their back or they're in their most comfortable position, and I might just want to add to you that I have a couple of people that do their own yoga poses in my class. Do you have that too? I have someone who does what they call Viparita Karani, which is they shift to the side of the wall, to the side of the room, and they put their legs up the wall. That's fine. I also used to have a man who came into my class for years and years and years who would do a headstand. And that was okay. Number one, I knew he was really solid in his yoga practice and his headstands, and no one else really even saw it. So allow everyone to do what they want to. But once they're there, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of women, when they're on their back, they put their hands on their tummy. Have you noticed that? This is the house of the emotions, right here in the belly. And sometimes they just want to either cover it for whatever reason. Maybe they're feeling a little intimidated. They're just feeling a little vulnerable. But I always offer my class to just relax their arms beside them, not touching their body at all, and to turn their palms upward toward the roof. So they have this beautiful opening through the heart and this opening energy all throughout this whole last track. Again, vulnerable, but that's okay. Vulnerable is, not such a bad thing in this particular instance. All right, so once they're down and that you've got them into that position, then you can start to guide them into how to relax and how to go deeper. The first thing I always do is offer a breath. You can do this in a couple of different ways. You could just simply say, take a nice deep long breath in and out, okay? And start to coach them into relaxing into the outer breath. Or you could even offer them to breathe in deeply through their nose and sigh, because it releases any tension around their jaw and it really creates a heaviness into depth, which is again kind of the doorway into where we want to go. So right from the beginning of this track, right up to that beautiful big sigh or those 2 deep breaths is really what I classify as the introductory part of this particular track or the setup. From there, you can go into your chosen theme and whatever you want to do. And I had this gorgeous comment from someone who actually reads to their class, which I think is just gorgeous. But I'm going to be giving you 8 different themes that you can use or not in future videos. So I hope this setup video has been really helpful for you, and we see you when we can join together in a few more videos all on meditation here for body balance and body flow. Until those next videos, we'll see you soon. Bye.